I wouldn't call myself a cozy game pro, but I definitely know my way around the farm, which is why when I saw the trailer for Fae Farm a while back, I was somewhat skeptical. I've played my fair share of farming and stereotypical cozy games to know what the standard formula is. Player comes to a new island, town, etc., given a farm to tend to and villagers to romance, with some fetch quests and mining sprinkled over it. Simple, right? Well, sort of. Straight off the bat, I should mention I was sent a copy of Fae Farm to review, which I am of course very thankful for, but I want to give you all my honest opinion. Let's just say I have some very mixed feelings. Fae Farm is your basic farming game with a mild twist. You have the usual farming, fishing, romancing elements in the game, but also there is magic. As the newest resident, you're shipwrecked on the island of Azoria, where you'll be greeted by its residents and gorgeous landscape. In this farming sim, you tend to your crops, romance the locals, mine your way through the dungeons, and fulfill a long docket of quests. Without giving away too much, as you progress throughout the story, fairies are also introduced along with other magical elements to explore. Now, let me level with you. If you've played one farming sim, you've basically played them all, and Fae Farm isn't any different. As much as I enjoy games such as Stardew Valley, My Time at Portia, or Sandrock, and similar cozy games, it's pretty much copy and paste. Fae Farm does introduce some changes though with, you guessed it, fairies. There's also potion brewing and critters to catch, the latter only available in the DLC though. Now here's where my points of criticism come in. Not only is the gameplay repetitive and negatively grindy, but there is a bit of an oxymoron here. Not only does it take forever for the main meat of the game to finally start, which is halfway through the game I should note, but once it does, it's like quests and features have been vomited all over you. The sheer amount of quests alongside your duties is incredibly overwhelming, which almost made me put the game down entirely. I spent the majority of my playthrough doing the usual checklists in any farming game, and I tell you, spring felt like it took at least 12 hours to get through. By then, I had quickly completed the first mine, upgraded my tools, unlocked crafting stations, romanced, grinded for materials, and already completed chapter 4. Once summer came along and the bones of the story began, I was inundated with tasks and quickly neglected my farm as I ventured onto the Fae realm. Humans be damned and screw you, chores. I will make one note on using my tools, then I'll just move on. I really enjoyed the variety of produce to grow and the freedom to place basically anything anywhere on my farm, but using my tools became an utter pain. Aside from the action being inaccurate at times, the toolbar was a bit of a challenge too. Whenever I'd see a bug or critter I'd like to catch, I would have to scroll through the toolbar. Or, more frustratingly, if I was done with a tool and wanted to forage, I'd have to go in and out of a different wheel menu to cancel the tool selection entirely. Not ideal when it's semi-time sensitive, I tell you. On a more positive note, I did enjoy the variety of materials to discover, the ability to brew potions later on in the game, and the generous amount of market stalls to sell your wares. NPCs are also an important factor in the game, as they issue you quests ranging from the story, job-related, or relationship-based. There's certainly more NPCs than any other cozy game I've played, which would be stressful if it weren't for the marker function. In the map, you can select an NPC you'd like to track, which will appear as an icon as you run around the island. This is particularly handy as I remember in Stardew Valley I'd have no idea where someone was if I wanted to hand in a quest or just talk to them. On the topic of how the game looks and how it sounds, the design of the game is quite gorgeous yet simplistic and colourful. From creatures to the variety of NPCs to even the enemies, I personally think that Fae Farm does a great job. There's certainly an appealing and comforting approach to how the game is presented. Customization in the game is a positive mark as it creates a diverse, inclusive and safe environment for the player. Even on a standard approach, the customization of your fairy wings is a nice touch. One minor thing I wasn't fond of though with the character creation is that I couldn't choose my name and was stuck with the Phoenix Lab account username. This is not only odd, but also mildly frustrating, and it pulled me out of the immersion of the story. Whilst playing, I was welcomed with the gentle vibes and melody of the game's music and sound design. Whether you're running through the town, grinding on your farm, or hacking at enemies in the mines, the music still presents a nice ambience. I particularly enjoyed the combat music when beating mimics to a bloody pulp in the mines, and the mood boosting ping as the material was ready from my crafting station. So I've already expressed my opinion in this review, so I'm sure you can assume my overall view of Fae Farm. Although the game is gorgeous looking and displays minor elements not present in other farming games, I still feel like as a whole the game is somewhat lackluster. I'll admit that my initial reaction when seeing the trailer last year, I thought it was just another farming game with a very high price tag. I dedicated around 20 hours of my time playing the game before making this review, and even though I keep jumping back into it, hoping to feel some sort of excitement or refreshment, instead, my gut feeling was correct. I think the overarching problem with Fae Farm is that even though it has great potential and is potentially a great game for those unfamiliar with the genre, the timing is all wrong. With a mix of chapters being too quick to complete, but the story taking too long to get going, it's a bit of a messy recipe. I should mention that there is a 1 to 4 player multiplayer in Fae Farm, which I haven't tried yet, so I'm unsure if maybe that's the more ideal way of playing the game. But nonetheless, it's great that there are a fair amount of features in the game, but at the end of the day, poorly executed timing and a copy and paste nature of this popular game genre just makes me feel like it's every other cozy game. Plus, with its very high price tag, I can certainly recommend a few other titles to try out without breaking the bank. I'm aware that this review felt somewhat negative, but I couldn't stand back and not speak honestly about my experience with the game, especially as I've been burned too many times with other farming and cozy games. I do plan on continuing the game, which I know seems a bit like insanity, but you never know. I may eventually grow to like it, and my opinion may change in the future as more DLC and updates roll out. For the time being, I would only recommend this game if you're new to the genre and aren't a seasoned player already, as there are plenty more games I can suggest. I will give kudos to where it's due to Phoenix Labs for aiming to go against the grain, but I still feel as though, as a whole, that farming and quintessential cozy games require a change rather than relying on the fan base to buy their game just because you can farm and have cute animals. For all you veterans out there, I would definitely suggest that you save your money, as it's nothing new you haven't seen before. It goes without saying that I am grateful that I was sent the game to review, but if I bought it myself, then I'd be out of pocket and I'd definitely be out of any interest. I just hope that, like games such as the My Time at Portia and My Time at Sandrock series, that Fae Farm improves with updates and potentially sequels or DLC. I say, if you're desperate to play it, even after seeing my review, then I would definitely suggest wait until it's on sale. So regardless if you've played Fae Farm or not, or whether or not you liked it, let us know in the comments below what your favourite cozy or farming game is. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel by sprinkling a whole bunch of fairy dust on it. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Bye!